Box office. Let's talk about this the box office. The box office is crazy. Box office is crazy, man. I really hate to see it. Hate to see it because it's some good movies. And I think that's another thing too. It's a lot of good movies bombing at the box office. A lot of good movies bombing at the box office. Right? I want to read this article. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. About this week, the Memorial Day box office, right? And this was for Saturday. This was the estimates for Saturday, this Memorial Day weekend box office. The estimates in said Furiosa Mad Max Saga posted a 10.4 million Friday, including Thursday's 3.5 from 3,804 locations. The film is skewing heavily male, junction with 3/4. The film is on pace for an underwhelming 30 million 3-day frame, which an equally uninspiring 35 million 4-day haul, well below pre-release tracking. Now, Furiosa was this is Memorial Day is box office kickoff. This is blockbuster season kickoff to me. To me, this is when the blockbusters start coming, everything start dropping. This is when it kicks off, right? This is when it kicks off. Furiosa was up against what? Garfield. This weekend's other major wide release, Sony's Garfield movie, is showing similarly struggles in the domestic market. 8.4 on Friday. 25 million 3-day debut with the 4-day haul tracking on a low 30 mil. 30 mil? 30 mil. What is going on domestically? What is going on domestically? So my issue is, how can we fix the box office? And what broke it? What broke the box office? Was it COVID? Is it streaming? Is it bad movies? Do people not want to go outside anymore? Is it kids? I used to stay in the movie theater. I would buy one ticket and watch a lot of movies in them, but I stay, you know what I'm saying? But I don't even, you can't do that no more for the most part because of seating. But even then, when purchasing a ticket, I don't see sold out theaters no more. I don't even hear, "Oh, sir, now we're sold out." Used to go up there, look at the marquee, and it'll show the times up there and say 3:30 sold out, 5:15 sold. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that anymore. So what is going on with the box office? And how can we fix it? How can we fix it? Can we fix it? Now, me, myself, let me stop sharing this. Me, myself, I would say smaller budgets, for one thing. The budget's got to be smaller. I think a lot of these movies, they crash and burn because they have these huge budgets. The expectation is not there anymore, so they have to reset the market. What do you do to reset the market? All y'all gonna have to come together, convene, and say, "Hey, we gotta lower these budgets for these movies. We gotta lower the price of popcorn and candy and soda at the movie theaters. We gotta make it an experience that people want to come to and enjoy." And on Hollywood's end, that's starting with smaller budgets. Smaller budget, maybe the movie gets a longer run. You're not worrying about trying to make 500, 600, 700 million to be a hit, to not flop, to get your money back. You got to look at what horror is doing. Right? These small scale horror movies come out and be killing things. A24, Blumhouse. They still got CGI in it. But it works. What was Talk to Me? Worked. Big Success. Smile. Worked. All of these horror movies be working. They be out here kicking ass at the box office. I mean, they're not putting up gargantuan 400, 500, 600 million returns. But if I come in with $100 million budget, $80 to $100 million budget, and I make 200, I make 300 at the box office, my run is long at the box office, I'm good. Then I can take that money in for the next one, the sequel or whatever. I can make the budget. I can up the budget a little bit. Scream had a budget of $35 million. $35 million. $169 million profit. Come on, man. Now that would be a failure. If it was Marvel, we know that's a failure, right? We know that's, but where is the budget going? If Scream was made on a 35 budget of 35, we had Smile and all of them 22 million. Where is the money going? Why is it such inflated for these Marvel films? Why is it so inflated for these superhero movies or these, you know what I'm saying, these big CGI fest movies? Why? What is going on? Is it the actors? Who is it? Then you got the pacing of the movie. Y'all are flooding the box office with too many movies. So I think people get overwhelmed. They don't know what to choose in the movies, and then they just say, you know what, fuck it, I'll wait. It'll be on streaming soon, right? It'll be here soon enough. I can wait. Do I really need to go see Jurassic Park? Do I really need to go see Planet of the Apes, Godzilla? I can wait, right? It's going to be on streaming. So quit putting so many movies in the theater. Chill. It's so much to choose from in the movie theaters. And it's so much to choose from on stream. Because remember, these same studios are not only hitting you over the head with stuff at your local movie theater, but then they also putting stuff on streaming. It ain't enough time in the day to watch all this stuff. And let me pivot to streaming real quick. I think streaming, they need to get control of streaming. Hollywood, I think, doesn't understand streaming. They pushed it heavily, thought money was going to be in it, not saying that it's not, but they don't understand streaming because now you're just making content to feed the stream beast. The thing about terrestrial TV is terrestrial TV understood there's only 24 hours in a day. I need to get them in front of the TV between this time and this time so they can watch Martin, so they can watch Friends, so they can watch whatever. Cable understood that. Only 24 hours in a day. When you have something constantly playing, people in their minds just say, I'll wait, it'll be on tomorrow. I'll wait, it'll be on the next day. I'll wait, it'll be on another week. To fix streaming shouldn't have it to where it's always on streaming. How long should it, just like movie theaters has a run, it only does what I think that 90 days, now 3 months. Movies or shows should only be on that streaming service for this amount of time. Now you're controlling your consumer. The thing is, you want to have some type of control over your consumer. And I know that sounds bad, but that's just business. You want to have some type of control over your consumer. Right now, these streaming studios, they don't have no control over their consumer. Take that control away. I shouldn't just be able to get on Netflix and watch whatever movie I want to watch whenever. I mean, I should, as a consumer, that's what I would want. But as a business, if I'm Netflix, as a business, if I'm Paramount, HBO, whoever, you better watch this shit now because we're taking it down. Soon, this is not going to be here. And we might put it back up. You know what I'm saying? Come Christmas time, we throw some Christmas movies up. Stuff like they got to learn. They got to figure out how to control the consumer. That's my streaming rant for right now. I might come back to that, but that's my streaming rant. Hollywood, back to the box office situation. Nostalgia is dope. I love nostalgia. I love remakes. Where are your original movies? Where are your movies that's going to represent this 2024, the 2020s? So when my kids get older, my kids get older, they can say, this movie represents, you know what I'm saying? Like we got movies that represent the 80s. We got movies that represents the 70s, the 90s, early 2000s. But then as you go on, what movies really represents 2020s, 2010s, 2020s? Superhero movies, is that it? Superhero films is the, you know what I'm saying? The 10s and the 2020s? Superhero films? Where's your original movies at? Where's the originality? It seems like these writers are creatively bankrupt. And I'm going to keep saying that. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Creatively bankrupt. It's certain things that you can rehash and make new. Horror, that genre is always rehashing things, but making it new, right? Action, you want to rehash it, make it new. What was the last good action movie that was original, that wasn't a sequel or a remake? Horror has its sequels and its remakes, but then you get stuff like Talk to Me. Then you get stuff like Smile. You can do both. You can push nostalgia and originality. You can do both. You can do both. I think Barbie was original. Oppenheimer that just came out, you know, those things were original. The whole Barbenheimer thing that they, but that's good marketing. And that's another thing too. I don't think they know who and how to market. Well, how to market and who to market to. Once they figure that out, I think they would win. Some movies are going to be phenomenons that just do $1 billion. But you can't expect everything coming out of that camp to push $1 billion. You just can't. I would say stop the universes. MCU, DCU. They want to do a John Wick universe. I see you, Gray. I see John Wick is Madea movies. You know what I'm saying? These universes, I'm cool. I'm fine with it. What they got, the MonsterVerse now. I'm not finna sit here and say I don't like these universes, but they're not for everybody. So you want to do a universe, cool. But the universe, you're gonna have to cut down on that budget. Some of those movies out of that universe is gonna do numbers. It's gonna do numbers. Then, like I said, you might have some anomalies. But you gotta make sure if I'm doing superhero films, I'm not going over 120. 120 is it. And I'm gonna try my best to stay around that 95 to 100 range. I think a good superhero movie can be made for that. Somebody just brought up in the chat, they was talking about The Creator. Grace is The Creator showed that an $80 million budget film can work. Just need a good story idea to pull it off. And that was an original. $80 million. It was an original. It looked good. It was a good movie, written well to me, and it was original. Now, why can't I take that $80 million budget and put it towards a Superman movie? Which I know even though it will return 400 million. Superman. Well, I say this, for the most part, most superhero movies return around 350 to 400, right? So if you do one for 80, why you can't get? I'm not understanding. My math ain't mathing, I guess. I don't know. And let's get back to the streaming, because I think streaming is the number one issue with the Hollywood box office. Number one issue with Hollywood box office is streaming. What is on does VOD even exist anymore? Where you had to go out and purchase, like the box, all right, after a box office run, it should now have an extended run through VOD. I remember the commercials, such and such is now out on video, on cassette, on DVD. I remember those. You don't have that no more, right? The rental business used to boom. Rental businesses shouldn't go out of business. Redbox should be booming. Whether physically or online, it should be booming. Should be. I know pirating exists. And the reason why they won't go so hard at pushing to get rid of pirating is because it's free promotion. Hate to say it, free promotion. Best if they can make it to where the pirated version of the film isn't the best, you know what I'm saying? Like if you rip this film or whatever from this website, or you try, like it's just bad blurry globs or something, you know what I'm saying? Make it to where it's annoying to do that. Because back in the day, the bootleg man's stuff was horrible, right? It was bad. You know, you still watched it, but you would rather watch the real thing. People talking in the theater, you know, stuff like that. They need some type of technology that deters the bootleg man, so to speak, deters the pirate, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because as of right now, what's the balance? Streaming, VOD, box office, where your balance at? Where's your balance? What is streaming's job? I think that's what the real question is. What is a streamer's job? Peacock exists, why? HBO Max exists, why? Disney Plus, I can yada, yada, yada. I can go on and on. Why do they exist? What purpose do they serve? The subscription-based model seems to not be earning these companies money the way that they think. Because if I'm paying per month $20-$30 a month, right? Cool. That's still a lot of money. But I can watch everything. I can watch everything for $20 to $30 a month. Now imagine if I did VOD for whatever this film was. I can double, triple, quadruple that in a month. And then after its VOD run, I'm not putting it on streaming. Quit putting these movies on streaming. And if you put it on streaming, let it have a limited run, take it right off. And announce that. They need to make an announcement saying, hey, from now on, when we put movies on streaming, it's going to have a limited run and we're taking it off. So if y'all don't catch it within that first month and a half, you missed it. That's what you got to do. At least that's what I think you got to do. I think that's how you fix the box office. That's how you fix Hollywood. That's how you get things back. Hell, because TV is messed up too. It ain't just the box office. To me, all visual media is messed up. And I think they don't know what to do. I think the strikes showed that. The actor strike showed that, and the writing strike showed that. They're like a chicken with their heads cut off. They don't know what to do when it comes to the streaming thing. And it might be too broke to fix. This situation might be too broke to fix. I hate it because me growing up was the height of the box office. I think it was the height of cinema. And I think now we reached that, and we're not even plateauing. We're dipping now. We're dipping down. And I think that's what hurts me the most. Let's get in these comments before I wrap it up. Let's see. Professor Filmfest says bad movies and ticket prices. They're going to keep bombing until they fix the release window. Nobody's going to the theaters when they can wait 45 for the hit streaming. And when it bombs, it's 2 to 3 weeks top. Right. It bombs and then they just take it out, put it on streaming. Of course you're not making no money. Not Lord or White Horse. The creator, I already said that. Do you think it's because we are in the pander? I do. I don't. That's a good question. The pandering era, I think they are pandering to a lot of misfortunate causes who don't have their back in buying the product that, you know what I'm saying, that these people are pandering to. So you could be right, Professor. Pandering to whatever demographic that they pander to, and then that demographic not showing up because they didn't care in the first place, has been hurting them. I will say that. It has, and I don't care what they're pandering to. Instead of them making a good film, writing a good script, and just making a totally balls out, dope ass movie, when you pander to a group, you negate everybody else. And if that group is only 5 people, and then only 2 of those people show up, you bombed. Fall Guy wasn't a hit property in the 80s. It was known, but it wasn't the 18. But see, that's the thing. They keep trying to do this nostalgia, and it don't work. Because like you said, it wasn't even dope in the 80s. It wasn't even dope. My thing is, if you want to do nostalgia, go get some Go get some of those films that bombed back then, but are cult classics. That might work better than. I didn't even know The Fall Guy was a remake or redo or whatever you want to say until I did a little. Me and Mika went through it. I didn't know it was a remake. Really didn't. I think people reserve going to the theater for big field movies, MCU films, even though they aren't as popular or looked at as big event outing. Anything less is an afterthought. I agree, but it used to be a time, and I totally agree with you, Cornelius. It used to be a time, Memorial Day weekend. These weekends, these summer, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day weekend, those holiday week. We got the holidays coming up soon too. Thanksgiving, Christmas. Those was where you made your money at. 3-day weekends. Taking the kids to the theaters. And maybe that's it. Maybe we're not getting a lot of family-friendly movies to get that feel back up. You know what I'm saying? To get that having that family outing feel. Can't really do that going to see Fast and Furious 28. And they're not cheap. That's another thing too. They have to, and that's what I mean by reset the market. They have to reset the market. They got to, and I know it's hard to reset the market once you set a price. It's 30, it's been $30 or whatever. And now I'm telling them to reset the market. I'm like, you got to drop it down to something. But that's for real. They got to drop it down to something. Taking your family to the movie theaters is now damn near equivalent to going on vacation. As much money as you spend there. The money you spend in the movie theaters, you can go on a trip, a real family trip, hotel, not necessarily the best hotel, but you know what I'm saying? Get a hotel, take them to the beach. Let them see stuff that they ain't never saw. Go do that. Then you can come back home because you're paying your $30 a month for Netflix or whatever your streaming services is. And you get to see the movie that you missed out on anyway. So they try to bypass movie theaters to make all the movies they could, and now they're losing money on streaming. Exactly. You can't bypass the theater. You can't do that. Especially if it has a bistro where you can eat whole restaurant type meals while watching the movies. Yeah. And maybe they should take stuff like that out. Get rid of the bistro. Just serve the regular finger foods, popcorn, some chicken strips, maybe stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure the theaters are losing money themselves as well. It's not just the studios losing money. These theaters are losing money. AMC damn near went bankrupt, and I think it's still on the verge of bankrupt. Inflation is kicking a lot of families' butts. Expenses being spent elsewhere. Indeed, that's why you have to entice them. Inflation has been kicking ass. So if as a Hollywood studio, as an AMC, as a Cinemark or whoever, how do I entice people to come and spend their hard-earned money with me? How do I do that? Movies got to deliver something that's going to bring people back. Got to make these family movies, man. Got to. Can't give a mid-tier film a budget that would yield $1 billion return for a top-tier property. Ant-Man shouldn't get in the... Thank you. Thank you. Why everything shouldn't be the blanket budget? Ant-Man, you know what I'm saying? These lower tier Shang-Chi and all of these shouldn't get that budget. Shang-Chi don't even get the budget on the books. But that's the bad thing, Gray. VOD is still a thing. That's what films that bomb in the box office. But And that's true. But that shouldn't be the only place that VOD is does what it does. VOD should be a prominent step. They should have steps to get to streaming. Streaming should be the last step. It should be the last step. This is Hollywood. They can control the people's mind, because a lot of people say, well, they just got used to staying at home and watching. True. So now let's get them back into the theaters. How do you do that? Quit supplying the beast. Quit supplying the streaming services. They're your streaming services. Quit supplying them. If you quit supplying and feeding that beast, people can't do nothing but pivot now. Now you don't want controlling the people. Right now, the people is controlling the movie industry. So the movie with the pinnacle viewing experience, yeah. Thank you. I feel like they are too focused on nostalgia, plus they have become lazy. Why not using all those books and stories that are not popular and make a movie? Come on, man. For example, Barbie 2 is not going to make the same money as the first one. Maybe Super Mario will, but what about the next one? People will get tired of it eventually. And they don't know when to move on. That's another thing too. I'm glad you brought that up. They don't know when to move on. I'm gonna take it back to Marvel. Marvel, it's time to move on from the multiverse. It's time. It is time to move on from the multiverse. It has not worked. Move on. Just move on. What was the reason to make a remake for Mulan, The Little Mermaid, even The Lion King? It only did $1 billion because of the stars. I think the live action should be one and done. See, the thing, Disney, this is what was dope about Disney back in the day. Disney used to do the Disney Vault, right? Make the movie, bring it out, show it, put it in the vault. You don't know when it's coming back. Better buy it now because you don't know when it's coming back. Better watch it now. You don't know when it's coming back. They don't do that no more because guess what? Just go over to Disney Plus. You can watch all the shit you want to. Physicals can still make money, people. It can still make money if you choose to allow it to let it make the money. VOD is supposed to be the second step in the film's run, the rentals, Blu-ray, and finally streaming. Yep. Focus on theater release, physical streaming in that order. And streaming should be like in that order, but deep in that order. You know what I'm saying? I remember like a movie would come out physical, it'd go to pay-per-view. Remember y'all remember pay-per-view? Pay-per-view, right? After pay-per-view, HBO, Cinemax, or Showtime will get it. They'll run it. And then after that, it is gone. It was gone. As far as, you know, just being able to watch it. Now, you can go rent it. And I don't know how renting worked, but I'm pretty sure some of that money went back to the studio, right? So you go rent it. But after that, don't expect it to be on regular TV. And that's what I'm equating streaming to. Streaming is now regular TV. Streaming and terrestrial TV are now the same, right? So whatever that movie was, let's say Predator back in the day, 80s, Predator came out, had his box office run. From box office, it went to pay-per-view. You paid the pay-per-view price. From pay-per-view, it went to either Showtime, HBO, Cinemax, whatever, right? In order to get that, you had to pay for HBO, Cinemax. From HBO, Cinemax, or during that time, it went to rentals and physical copies. So you can buy it, go buy Predator, right? Or you can go rent it. I think it was. I think you rented it first, and then before you can buy it, something like. Either way, the physical came out, and then after that, you didn't see it. It didn't show up on TV. If you didn't watch it, if your homeboy didn't make a dub of the tape that he rented or something, you watch it. Then maybe one summer, TNT might say, oh, Predator's playing. And you go, oh, shit, let me sit down and watch Predator. And it's all chopped to hell because it's made strictly for TV, right? But that's how they did it. And I think that put them in control of the consumer. And like I said, right now, they are not in control of the consumer. Spider-Verse is the only thing that should have used the multiverse as well. Spider-Man No Way Home to bring in Miles. True. If a film came out, maybe we wasn't seeing that DVD until October, and we wasn't seeing it on cable until the following May. Right? They need to get back to that. See, they think if they don't do that, that people are gonna stop paying for Netflix or stop. Fine, let that happen. Let that happen. But I guarantee you'll make that money back up with them going purchase whatever that physical DVD is or that physical Blu-ray or them buying it VOD. Because if they really want to see it, that's what they'll do. The thing is, Hollywood, y'all have spoiled the consumer. Now you got to wean them off the titty. You now have to wean the consumer off the streaming titty. So y'all got some work to do. Y'all got some work to do. Hey, man, that is my time. I went 17 minutes over than what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it strictly down to an hour. I appreciate everybody who joined in the chat. You know, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Remember, the memberships are open. I'm thinking about redoing them as far as the pricing, but either way, they are open. Please support the channel if you want to by hitting the Cash App. Also, that's $BLUMINATI. Anything is good. I just want to try to keep bringing y'all this content. But yeah, hopefully, I think we'll be back on tonight, Blurred AF tonight. So be on the lookout for me, Dre, and Mika tonight, Blurred AF. And yeah, man, I am out. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. So like that, I am out.